In life, whenever a situation arises, whether it is joy or sorrow, success or failure, love or separation, the first illusion of human beings is to think that the state will last forever. Those who are immersed in sorrow believe that their pain will never end, while those who are overflowing with joy assume that their happiness will continue indefinitely. But the truth is, nothing is stronger than time. Time changes everything, both your deepest sorrows and your most glorious successes. Time has turned countless kings into beggars and countless beggars into kings. Time has transformed the greatest loves into memories and the most monumental wars into mere pages in history books. This is the inevitable law of life. Nothing is permanent. When you understand that every state in life is temporary, that is when you truly begin to live. This understanding is encapsulated in the words, "This too shall pass," and "quit to ved." When you go through a difficult situation, financial crisis, illness, broken relationships, or a soul-crushing loss at that moment, your mind believes it is the end. Your mind thinks there is no path forward. But if you look back at your own past, you will remember that you have overcome many difficulties before, and all of them have passed. At those times, you also thought life could not go on. Yet today, you are still here, still breathing, still moving forward. This means your sorrows were not permanent. They have left you. They too have passed. So, the next time sorrow surrounds you, remember, "This too shall pass." This phrase is not just comfort, it is a profound truth. If the past has passed, the present will also pass. But this phrase is not only for overcoming sorrow. It is equally important in times of joy. When people achieve success, fame, or taste the sweetness of love, they think that state will last forever. But it is precisely at that moment that remembering "this too shall pass" becomes essential. For if you forget that joy is also temporary, you will become lost in it. And when time changes, when that joy is taken away, your ego will shatter. Those who always remember that "this too shall pass" will remain humble in success and patient in failure. Only they can maintain balance amidst the waves of life. "This too shall pass" is not just a saying, it is a profound reflection on life. When you deeply feel these words in your heart, you will understand that even your greatest problems are fleeting. This realization teaches you to stay grounded in the present. For if everything will change, why not accept this moment as it is? Let sorrow come. Embrace it, for it will not stay long. Let joy come. Live it fully with all your awareness, for it too will not linger forever. This understanding does not let you be bound by joy or drowned in sorrow. It transforms you into a witness. The greatest gift of this phrase is that it frees you from the ego. When you think your achievements are proof of your greatness, "this too shall pass" reminds you that those achievements are merely a play of time. And when you think your failures mark the end of your life, this phrase reminds you that they are only temporary. With this understanding, you neither become arrogant nor despair. You simply flow with the stream of life. Sometimes, life brings us to crossroads where everything seems to fall apart. It feels as though there is no light, no path forward. Inside, there is emptiness. Outside, there is darkness. In such moments, people become trapped in their own thoughts and believe that this is their fate, their final state. But if you look closely, you will see that even this is not permanent. Just as the sun rises after the darkest night, there will be a dawn in your life as well. No matter how long the night, its end is certain. This is the true message of "this too shall pass." No matter how great the difficulty, it cannot be permanent. It will dissolve in the flow of time. If you truly internalize the phrase, "this too shall pass," half of your life's problems will automatically be resolved. Because we suffer not only from sorrow but from the illusion that it will last forever. We think this situation will haunt us indefinitely. That thought makes us collapse. But when you understand that everything changes, you become patient. You realize there is no need to fight or flee. You only need to endure, for time will lead you out. This understanding makes you strong from within. Now, consider this. If this phrase were only worth remembering in times of suffering, its value would not be complete. Its true power is revealed when you remember it in moments of joy as well. Because joy is where people are most likely to become lost. They think everything will remain as it is, and this illusion makes them vulnerable to future pain. Those who always remember that joy is temporary will live it fully but not be swept away by it. They enjoy joy but do not cling to it. This balance makes life beautiful. This phrase applies not only to external circumstances but also to the emotions within you. Anger comes and goes, sorrow comes and goes, fear arises and subsides with time. Observe this. Your emotions are like the weather. Clouds come, rain falls, and then the sun appears again. If you grasp this truth, you will never become a slave to any emotion. You will see that this too shall pass applies to every emotion. Then, you will be able to witness anger as an observer and live in joy as an observer. This too shall pass also frees you from the fear of death. Death is a truth that every human fears. But if you look deeply, death is merely a form of change. Just as childhood has passed and youth will pass, one day this life will pass too. This does not mean you must be sad, it means you must live every moment fully. For if everything will pass, why not live this moment with love, awareness, and joy? This perspective turns death into a celebration. We often exaggerate our sorrows to the point that we can no longer see the other colors of life. But remembering that this too shall pass opens a door. This door shows you that the heaviness of the present will not last forever. It ignites a lamp of hope in your heart. That lamp says that the present may be painful, but the pain will change. The present may hold wounds, but those wounds will heal. This hope protects you from breaking. This hope gives you the courage to move forward. If you think deeply, you will see that this too shall pass is not just a saying, it is a meditation practice. Whenever a strong emotion arises within you, whether sorrow or joy, sit down and tell yourself, this too shall pass. Gradually, you will notice a distance forming within you. You will no longer be immersed in that emotion. You become a witness. And the moment you become a witness, you are liberated. This liberation is meditation. This is where the true flavor of life unfolds. Our greatest problem is that we consider everything permanent. If someone betrays us, we think that pain will haunt us forever. If a loved one leaves us, we feel our life has ended. But the truth is, pain gradually turns into memory, and memory fades with time. Think about it. In childhood, how many sorrows did you consider serious? Yet today, they make you smile. Similarly, today's sorrows will become tomorrow's memories, and those memories will fade. This is the law of life. This is the true power of this too shall pass. In friends, if you learn to live with this phrase, a miraculous balance will emerge within you. For then, you will view every situation with equal eyes. You know that joy comes and will not stay long. Sorrow comes and will not linger forever. Then, you will not be entangled in any state. This balance is the depth of meditation. This balance makes life simple. For now, you no longer try to hold on to life. You let it flow. This too shall pass also teaches us to live in the present. When we realize that everything will change, we learn to live with it instead of trying to grasp it. If there is joy, we live it fully. If there is sorrow, we accept it as a witness. And that is living in the present. The entire beauty of life lies in this moment, but we lose it because our mind always runs toward the future. This too shall pass teaches us to hold on to this moment. This phrase also teaches us patience. When you know that circumstances will change, you do not rush to make decisions. You stay calm. You wait. Like a farmer who sows seeds and patiently waits for rain, you too wait patiently for time to change. This patience makes you strong against life's ups and downs. Think about it. If humans did not have the belief that everything will change, perhaps no one could endure sorrow. It is the hope that time will change everything that keeps us alive. This is why, even in the darkest moments, people search for a ray of light. They know that no matter how long the night, dawn is certain. This hope This belief, this phrase protects us from breaking. Often, joy also binds people. They think that is life, that it is eternal. But time gradually changes that. And when joy is taken away, people break. But those who have etched, "This too shall pass" in their hearts, remain awake even in joy. They know it will pass too, and when it does, they do not break. They understand that it is the natural flow of life. This phrase also frees us from attachment. Attachment means considering something permanent and clinging to it. But when you know that everything will change, you do not cling to anything. You enjoy it, but you do not hold on to it. That is liberation. That is freedom. That is meditation. "This too shall pass" is a practice. If you remember it in every moment, your mind will gradually become calm. For now, you no longer fear anything, not joy, not sorrow, not success, not failure. You simply become a witness. And the moment you become a witness, life becomes light. When we reflect deeply, we realize that "this too shall pass" is not just a philosophical truth of life, but also the foundation of our mental strength. When sorrow chokes us, we begin to feel defeated. We think there is no way out. This pain will last forever. But the moment we remind ourselves that it too will change, resilience is born within us. We do not collapse. We do not tire. We learn to wait with patience. This patience brings the strength to move forward even in the darkest times. When you etch this phrase in your heart, you understand that after every storm, the sky will be clear again. If you look back at your past, this truth becomes even clearer. As a child, when your toy broke, you thought it was the greatest sorrow in the world. As a teenager, when your beloved friend left you, you felt life had no meaning. As an adult, when you were hurt in love, you thought your heart would never heal. But did any of those things last forever? Number, they all changed. They all passed. And the person who once thought they were finished is still standing here, breathing, smiling. That is the miracle of life. That is the healing power of time. If you deeply understand, "This too shall pass," the greatest fear of life, fear of the future, will also vanish. For the future is uncertain, and uncertainty always brings fear. We think, what will happen next? Will everything collapse? Will we lose everything? But when you know that whatever happens will also pass, a sense of ease comes within you. You no longer chase the future. You live in the present. This perspective frees you from the stagnation of life. You no longer carry the burden of the future, for you know it too is temporary. The value of this phrase becomes even more profound when we view it in the context of death. The fear of death lies deep within every human. We think death is the greatest tragedy, but if you look deeply, death is only temporary, like every other experience in life. This body is finite. This form is finite. But the consciousness within you transcends time. When you understand that death is just a milestone, and this too shall pass, you begin to live life more freely. You stop living in fear of death and start embracing every breath as a gift. This too shall pass also teaches you humility. When you succeed, when you receive fame and admiration, the ego begins to form. The ego thinks this state will last forever. But when you remember that it too is temporary, humility arises within you. You understand that it is all a play of time, and time, the one that lifts you to the heights today, may bring you to the ground tomorrow. This understanding keeps you grounded. Even at the peak, you do not become arrogant. Similarly, this phrase protects you from despair. When you fail, when life brings you to your knees, you think everything is over. But if you remember that this too shall pass, you hold on to courage. You know, it is temporary. And when time changes, your circumstances will change too. This understanding gives you a learning perspective in every failure. You do not see it as the end. You see it as a milestone on the journey. And this perspective propels you forward. If you look closely, this phrase makes life incredibly light. For all our pain comes from holding on to things. We want the good to last forever and the bad to never come. But that is impossible. And when this expectation breaks, we suffer. But those who have accepted that everything is temporary, everything changes, will not cling to anything. And when there is no clinging, how can there be pain? This is true liberation. This phrase is equally important for relationships. For we often consider people permanent. We think this relationship will last forever, that this person will always be with us. And when time changes, when people change, we break. But if we remember that this too shall pass, we live in relationships with awareness. We do not cling to them, but we enjoy them. And when they change, we do not suffer. We accept them as part of the flow of life. This too shall pass brings us inner freedom. For when we consider everything permanent, we are bound by it. But when we understand that everything will change, we are no longer slaves to anything. We become free. We see every experience, every person, every circumstance as a traveler, like a train station that comes and goes. Life's experiences come and go, and we enjoy the journey. The greatest gift of this phrase is that it transforms you into a witness. When you know that everything will change, you do not get entangled in anything. You simply observe, become a witness. And this state of witnessing is the pinnacle of meditation. This brings you to the true secret of life. For those who become witnesses have understood. They have realized that joy or sorrow, love or separation, success or failure, all are temporary. And those who understand this are no longer bound by anything. They are truly free. The greatest paradox of life is that we expect temporary things to be eternal. We think that if a relationship brings joy, it will always be so. If we achieve success in work, that success will never end. But time always teaches us that every state will change. This too shall pass reminds us of this harsh but beautiful truth. It teaches us that the very ending of things creates their beauty. If flowers never withered, who would cherish their fragrance? If the night never ended, who would welcome the dawn? It is change that makes life vibrant. Sometimes, this phrase also awakens deep compassion within us. When we see others suffering, we think their state is permanent. We feel helpless before their pain. But when we understand that their pain is also temporary, we can give them hope. We can say, "Be patient, this too shall pass." And this hope is not just words, it is the law of life. This is why this phrase is not only a comfort for ourselves, but also the most beautiful way to comfort others. When we say, "This too shall pass," it inspires us to live deeply with every experience in life. For if everything is temporary, why not live each moment fully with awareness? If there is sorrow, feel it, accept it, for it is also an experience. If there is joy, live it fully, for it will not last long. With this perspective, every moment becomes precious. Then, life is no longer a burden but a celebration. This phrase also introduces us to our true nature. When we understand that the body is temporary, thoughts are temporary, emotions are temporary, the question arises, what then is eternal? When everything passes, what remains? And then we realize that the witness within, the consciousness within, is the eternal. This is the true message of "This too shall pass," recognizing the temporary to reach the eternal. If you learn to live with this phrase, nothing in life can frighten you. You will have the strength to witness every circumstance as an observer. Think about it. If you always remember that every sorrow is temporary, you will never despair. And if you remember that every joy is temporary, you will never become arrogant. This balance is the greatest achievement of life. This balance is the deepest state of meditation. This too shall pass brings us awareness of the infinite power of time. Time is the greatest healer. It heals wounds. It fades memories. It softens emotions. No matter how deep the pain, with time, its intensity diminishes. This is why people say that time heals all wounds. This is not just a proverb. It is a profound truth. And when we remember this, we learn to be patient with time. This phrase sows the seed of non-attachment in life. Non-attachment does not mean indifference, but understanding that Clinging is futile. When we know that everything will change, we love but do not become lost in it. We live in relationships but do not cling to them. We enjoy joy but do not drown in it. This non-attachment makes us free from within. This non-attachment is the foundation of meditation. Sometimes we wonder if sorrow has any value, if it is temporary. But the truth is, the value of sorrow lies in its temporariness. For sorrow makes us stronger. It brings depth, it gives us the ability to see life from new perspectives. And when we know that this too shall pass, we do not see sorrow as an enemy. We see it as a teacher. Every sorrow teaches us something and then leaves, leaving behind wisdom. This phrase also makes us mature in love. When we love, we think that this relationship will last forever. But time teaches us that people change, circumstances change. If we forget that this too shall pass, we will break. But if we remember it, we live in love more deeply. We know that this moment is precious. This relationship is precious. And because one day it too will pass, we live with it with awareness. This is mature love. Ultimately, this too shall pass reveals the true secret of life. There is nothing to hold on to. Everything is temporary. Everything changes. Only the witness within, in the form of consciousness, is eternal. If you understand this, life becomes a game, a dance. Then, the pain of failure will not sadden you, and the pride of victory will not make you lost. Then, you will accept life as an unceasing flow. And this acceptance brings peace, brings liberation. When people deeply accept the impermanence of life, a miraculous lightness is born within them. For then, they know that the greatest problem they consider insurmountable is just a wave, rising and soon dissolving. This lightness is the root of meditation. This lightness liberates the soul. Those who understand that everything will pass do not carry the burden of anything. They live life not with seriousness, but with ease. And this ease is joy. This too shall pass gives us a way to see life as a journey. Like a long journey where we pass through different landscapes, some lush valleys, some deserts, some windy passes, some serene lakes in life. Every experience is just a milestone. If we consider a milestone permanent, we lose the joy of the journey. But if we remember that everything will pass, we can see each landscape with all its beauty. Then, life is no longer a battle, but a pilgrimage. When we truly live with this phrase, we are freed from the burden of the ego and false identity. For we understand that our name, achievements, status, and identity are all temporary. What makes us proud today will become memories tomorrow. This understanding makes us humble from within. Then, we do not live for name, identity, or status, but with the peace of our being. This is true spirituality, moving from the temporary to the eternal. This phrase not only brings inner freedom, but also outer compassion. For when we know that others' anger is temporary, their sorrow is temporary, we do not run from them, we accept them. We understand that they too are passing through a temporary wave. This understanding deepens relationships. This understanding makes us tolerant. This understanding makes us compassionate toward others. This too shall pass also means we must understand the value of the present moment. When we know that everything will change, we do not take this moment lightly. We live every breath as a gift. We live every encounter, every smile, every embrace with its full depth. For we know that this too shall pass. This awareness fills life with its flavor. This awareness turns life into a celebration. The true secret of life is that change is the only thing permanent. This paradox is the truth of life. Those who understand this can smile in sorrow and remain humble in joy. Then, no peak makes them intoxicated, and no valley breaks them. This balance is the essence of this too shall pass. This balance is the essence of meditation. This phrase also gives us courage. For when we remember that difficulties are not permanent, we can find the strength to face them. We do not run, we do not fight, we simply endure. And with time, that difficulty dissolves on its own. This courage makes us strong. This courage makes us steadfast from within. This courage brings us to the profound secrets of life. This too shall pass also teaches us gratitude. For when we know that joy is temporary, we do not take it for granted. We are grateful for every moment of it. And when we know that sorrow is temporary, we are also grateful for it brings depth, it teaches us something. This gratitude makes us rich from within. This gratitude turns life into a prayer. If you look deeply, this phrase is not just a law of life, but a law of the universe. Stars are born and fade. Planets form and crumble. Galaxies do not last forever. Everything changes. Everything passes. This is the nature of the universe. And when we understand this, we realize that we too are part of that flow. We too will continue to change. And this change is our path. So, ultimately, this too shall pass is not just a saying, but the most profound mantra of life. It teaches us that joy, sorrow, success, failure, love, separation, life, death, all are temporary. And those who accept this are no longer bound by anything. They are free, they are light, they are witnesses. They are the ones who truly live. They know that every experience is a wave, coming and going. And if everything will pass, why not live this moment with all awareness, compassion, and love? This is the secret of life. This is liberation.